Let us first understand the term ecology. It is a science that deals with relationships between groups of living things and their environments. Wildlife is an inseparable part of the natural treasure. It refers to all non domesticated plants and animal species which live and grow in areas which are uninhabited by human. Animals and birds are amongst the most beautiful creations God has ever created. These creatures adorn the nature through their extraordinary way of existence. It also includes organisms and fungi. Wildlife is found in all ecosystems such as forests, plains, grasslands, deserts, and all other areas with a specific characteristic and different forms of wildlife. It is a matter of some satisfaction to all of us interested in the conservation of nature that there is now, at last, a growing awareness and interest in India in the preservation of wildlife and wild places. India is a country with rich and diverse forms of flora and fauna, which make it a biodiversity hotspot in the world. As human induced activities increased and development started taking place on a large scale, the wildlife and the ecosystems began to be affected by it. India is continuously losing this heritage because of deforestation and several other reasons too. Only a handful of wildlife enthusiasts are actually concerned with conserving endangered species through serious efforts. This called for some measures by the government to protect the wildlife and their habitat with the help of stringent legal provisions and conservation strategies. This chapter highlights on the importance of conservation of wildlife and the problems faced in implementing these conservation measures with a reference to various forms of threats faced by these wild animals and plants. What is now required is the understanding of the fact that human ecology is an integral part of national conservation, and all who take a view of life on earth must realize that man's future cannot be considered separately from that of other life. Nature has always helped mankind to flourish. But have we ever realized the fact that as humans, what have we given to nature? Are we at all concerned about the nature that serves us so well? Does making necessary plans and implementing them in order to save the unique and endangered species existing in India mean something to us? Wake up before it is too late. It is the right time when we should join hands with the associations working for preserving wildlife in India. In order to promote wildlife awareness in every nook and corner of the country, the Government of India has started some natural programs and projects like Project Tiger to save the tigers from being extinct. It has till date been the most successful step that has led to the preservation of the tigers in India. Then there are jungle lodges and nature camps that have been established. These projects have been started not only to save the declining numbers of animals but to encourage ecotourism as well. Several national parks have taken steps to protect these species which are on the verge of extinction. For instance, the Gir National Forest Parks is the one and only home to the existing Asiatic lions in India. Yet another remarkable instance is that of the Kaziranga Sanctuary in Assam that functions as a habitat to the endangered rhinoceros. Then Periyar in Kerala conserves the wild elephants. Not only government but the common man will also have to take steps in this regard. Let us save the rich and diverse wild and the Mother Earth. From the time that man became an agriculturist and husbandman, thereby enabling himself to overcome the natural constraints that had kept the numbers of his predecessor, the hunter and forager, within the environmental capacity, man's impact on his environment has been largely disastrous. Ever since man came to rearing animals and farming, thereby exploiting nature, large scale deforestation has been continuing due to mismanagement of forest resources and overexploitation. Deforestation is still continuing at a rapid scale, and the problem has reached to such a proportion that it has totally disturbed the ecological balance, which has led to its collapse. The various factors of civilized society has led to this collapse, which include degradation of land and soil erosion, deforestation, faulty utilization of water resources, environmental problems from faulty mining practices, and industrial and atmospheric pollution. As examples, one could consider the cradle of civilization, West Asia, now largely arid, as a monument to man's misuse of land. A number of ancient civilizations seem to have culminated in deserts in the same way. Egypt, the kingdoms of West Asia, Carthage, and the Indus Valley civilization. Drawing from history, Dr. Salim Ali draws our attention towards the fact that as civilizations advanced and prospered, they left the earth barren, messing with her rich biodiversity to fulfill his endless demands and satiating his greed. By treating the Mother Earth cruelly, all seem to have gone to ruin down the same drain. None had profited from the knowledge of earlier disasters. Unhappily, the same sorry process continues today, only that improvements in communications and technology now permit man to exercise his expertise as a creator of deserts on a global scale and at a more accelerated tempo. The Earth's biological resources are vital to humanity's economic and social development. As a result, there is a growing recognition that biodiversity is a global asset of tremendous value to present and future generations. At the same time, the threat to species and ecosystems has never been as great as it is today. Species extinction cause, caused by human activities continues at an alarming rate. Reduction of the Earth's biodiversity as a result of human activities is a matter of great concern to prominent scientists. We are in the midst of the sixth era of extinction. The use of technology has empowered us to hasten the speed at which we are depleting the resources which at one time in history were considered endless and unexhausting. We have learned nothing from history. As far as forests and wildlife are concerned, there can be hardly any doubt that we in India have been living prodigally off an abundant capital. A study on any endangered natural resource shows that the basic problem in every case is human population, leading to a constant erosion of that resource. The current population of the earth is over 7.6 billion people and growing. It could reach 8 billion by 2025, 9 billion by 2040, and a whopping 11 billion by 2100. Population is growing rapidly, far outpacing the ability of our planet to support it, given current practices. More people means more demand for oil, gas, coal, and other fuels mined or drilled from below the earth's surface that, when burned, spew enough carbon dioxide into the atmosphere to trap warm air inside like a greenhouse. Most fossil fuel consumption comes from developed countries. The current population of the earth is over 7.6 billion people and growing. It could reach 8 billion by 2025, 9 billion by 2040, and a whopping 11 billion by 2100. Population is growing rapidly, far outpacing the ability of our planet to support it given current practices. Overpopulation is associated with negative environmental and economic outcomes ranging from the impacts of overfarming, deforestation, and water pollution to eutrophication and global warming. While a lot of positive steps are being taken to better ensure the sustainability of humans on our planet, the problem of having too many people has made lasting solutions more challenging to find.